what? I'm going to see you, Kate.
Oh my God, it's so soon.
I'm going to see you.
T-minus, 48 hours.
That too. That's math. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably less than that.
It's going to be really fun. Although I think we learned our lesson that when I came to visit the one time, you, Danielle, and I went out. And
oh my God. I was telling someone that story recently.
Not feel good in the morning. And you also wanted to drive. This is so unlike you, but you got home to mom's and you're like, I think I should drive home. And I
worried about Bear.
I made you a drink. And mom was like, what are you two doing? I remember being like, said, why are you giving her a drink? Clearly she's had too much. I was like, I don't want her in her drunk state to think she has to drive. So
we looked at baby pictures.
Yeah, I was like, so we looked at baby pictures and then I gave you a drink and then you just fell asleep on the couch as expected. But mom was so mad at the convoluted thing because I was also drunk trying to explain to her how I was trying to make you be safe and we would never let you obviously drive. But yeah, what were we thinking? That's insane.
I don't think we were thinking, and that was that last year in December? I think it was.
Yeah, almost a year ago.
Okay, because I literally was talking about that recently because I was in Red Bank, and I was like, wow, I feel like the last time I was in Red Bank, I did an impromptu bar crawl. Because that's what happened.
And then at the time we were doing that article, and you're like,
oh my God, our
we
photo.
We have to get a picture. And for the real listeners, if you remember that whole story, that picture of us in that article.
It's when they turned the lights on at 2 a.m. in the bar.
It's when they kicked us out. And Katie's like, wait, let's take a picture. I was like,
the lighting is good. The lighting is good. We got to stay. Oh my God. Well, maybe we won't do that. Oh, I mean, we won't. Just kidding, we won't.
I just couldn't handle it. I was like,
we'll see.
I was like, I'm the one up with a baby. I want to die. I can't handle that anymore.
If somehow we end up in the same situation, we'll take the same type of photo as evidence.
And just send it to random newspapers to be like, this is, when you eventually write about us, this is the photo.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll let you know, listeners, what happens.
Sisters who've seen it. We are the sisters who've seen it. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters, shooby-dooby-doo-wop. Sisters. Sisters who've seen it.
Hello there.
Welcome back, listeners.
Welcome back. Are you ready to spy?
Oh, yes. Excellent. We were on the wavelength there. All right, listeners, let me introduce ourselves because we're not spies.
No.
Not
even close.
Just gonna see. Okay. We're definitely not. But we are the Sisters Who've Seen It, the podcast where two sisters who are not movie critics look back on some of our favorites throughout the years through a psychological, ethical, and familial lens. I'm Katie.
I'm Bridget.
And
I want to see the world, and I want to write down everything.
Oh, jeez, Bridget, the hand motion got me nervous at first, but
I was shaking a bottle, did you watch? Katie.
Okay, you used two hands. I don't know. Bridget, what's the movie this week?
The 1996 Nickelodeon.
Yep.
Harriet the Spy.
Wow.
Originally from the books. Harriet the Spy.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a book.
One book,
it was inspired. It's called Harriet the Spy.
Is there one book or are there more than one book?
I think there's a bunch, but
wow.
the main one I think is and then there's did you know there's an animated show with Jonah Hill's sister Beanie Feinstein?
What?
Yeah.
Not on Nickelodeon.
I don't know where it is.
Oh my.
Yeah. But Kate.
Wow.
Am I doing the synopsis?
Yes, thank God.
Well, Harriet M. Welsh is probably the most accomplished 11-year-old spy.
Is that the sentence?
That's the sentence.
That's it?
So here's the thing.
That's all we got?
Listeners, if you're
There's a lot more trauma.
I know. Listeners, if you
Oh my God.
if you clicked on this episode and you didn't watch the movie, okay, this is what the synopsis is for. It's for you. And I'm gonna assume maybe you watched it when you were younger or you heard of it, but we have a crazy cast. We have Michelle Trachtenberg, who is
Woo!
Harriet the Spy, and does it fantastic.
Yeah,
And
she's good.
you have a bunch of other people in here that you might have seen in Nickelodeon world or seen in other movies, but you have to just see them. I don't think there's big names besides Rosie O'Donnell, who is Harriet's nanny, Golly.
God.
So here's the thing. Harriet has does she have a diagnosis, Kate, from you? What do we autism spectrum?
Oh, I was like, is she a narcissistic personality disorder?
That too. What do you think?
No, I don't.
Very one-track mind, you know what I mean? It's this is it, and that's that, and
okay.
I don't know.
Maybe. But she's ambitious.
She's intense for an 11-year-old.
Yeah.
And they're in the 6th grade, and I think they go to school in the city, and they have this kind of it felt like Upper East Side fancy school, but then there's some people that can't eat that go there. So I don't really know what's happening with the area.
I don't know what city or...
Well, but we're in the city, and we know this because she carries around her notebook, and she says she has to write down everything, and this is how she's going to be the best writer in the whole wide world, but she basically just stalks people and writes about their lives.
She breaks and enters a lot.
It's weird. She creeps through windows. She's on roofs. It's very strange. But she's somewhat likable because, let's face it, she's not talking about you. She's talking about all these other people. Well, then, that notebook, we all know, if you have a notebook, let me tell you something.
This is like the burn book in Mean Girls.
I journal. Do you journal? Do you write stuff down?
I don't.
Okay, I do, but I will tell you that I get rid of that stuff because if you just die one day, do you want everyone reading your nonsense?
You know what, Bridge? That is a point.
It is horrifying. Or I at least have to put that in the will that someone has to burn these before anyone else sees them. No one's allowed to read. But basically at school, she's got these 2 buddies, Sport and Janie, and they're outsiders, but the school itself doesn't seem to care. Nobody cares.
I mean, there's 12 children in class.
Yeah, it seems to be everyone's just kind of doing their own thing, but they have a nemesis, and their nemesis is Marion.
Oh.
Okay, Marion Hawthorne. Oh. And she's kind of uppity, and they call her a dork, but she also, I think, thinks she's cool. It's confusing. She seems like a rich wasp, okay? But they try to, I think, I don't know, show that they're cool by being very unique and individual and just embrace who they are. And so they have all these different quirks. But then the whole class is playing one day and Marion gets a hold of Harriet's journal.
Dun, dun, dun.
When this happens, she says out loud all the mean things that Harriet has written, which, by the way, are very mean.
The notebook did say private, by the way. I'm just saying.
I have a lot of moral questions on your opinion on that. But they hear it, then they hate her, then it becomes drama because Golly, her nanny, who Rosie O'Donnell, she's a special connection with, her parents, they get in this dumb tiff, we'll get there, but basically she moves on, Rosie O'Donnell moves on, so Harriet's got nobody. She doesn't have her bestie nanny, her friends are ditching her.
Her life is in shambles. Absolute shambles.
She's getting bullied at school, but she kind of comes at him twofold and takes back a little, I don't know, whatever. I don't know what we'll call it, but she hits him back hard.
Yeah.
A Roger Ebert quote said, "You don't want her to be your sister-in-law."
Damn!
Ouch.
Okay.
Then she comes back, and then all the parents are like, why is every single child's parents from our school calling us? What have you done? And then we kind of get full circle and figure out, all the things that need to be done at this age, which is you have to learn to apologize, and you have to learn how to get along and find your unique way in the world and all sorts of things. And that's all wrapped up in a Nickelodeon film.
Yeah, in an hour and, 40 minutes?
Crazy.
Barely. Also...
What did I miss?
I got emotional.
Oh, with who? With what?
When Golly leaves. Which, by the way, in terms of timeline, that happens within the first, it feels 20 minutes. And you're like, wait, Rosie, I just got to see you. Girl, don't leave.
Are you a Succession fan? Have we talked about this?
No, I don't watch shows like that because they make me angry and I don't like them.
Okay, well, Harriet's mother is a big character from Succession.
Wow. She plays rich white ladies. Is that her typecast?
No, she plays like the head lawyer at the enterprise company, but she's a very unique, interesting character on the show. But in here, she was annoying. She was an annoying mom. So just for those, Succession fans, keep going, Kate. What else were you gonna say?
Well, you did mention that some of the like kid, because there's a lot of kids, whatever. The guy who plays sports, you remember the movie Small Soldiers?
Oh, man.
He's the guy in that. He's like the main dude. Isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
I know. Opposite Kristen Dunst. That's the only thing I really know him from. And then Janie, the actress who plays her name is Vanessa Chester.
Yeah.
She was in The Lost World Jurassic Park, the sequel with Jeff Goldblum. She's Jeff Goldblum's daughter. And she ends up on the goddamn Dino Island and does gymnastics and beats up a raptor. It's crazy. So anyway, these kids are, they're great.
They got a lot going on.
I'm typically a kid critic.
I'll
I'll
was
admit.
prepared for you to just rip every child actor apart.
No, I thought most of them were great. Some of the like background kids, I could give some notes. We're not on set, so I won't. But Michelle Trachtenberg is amazing. Like,
she's just a natural like actor.
So good.
That young, being that good, she's good. She's very I feel like whenever she's in a movie, she's the type of person in a movie or a show, I'm like, oh, I want to see this if she's in it.
Yeah. So this was a Nickelodeon film, which I'm actually curious. I would love to like do a deep dive on the like history of the Nickelodeon films, because obviously they were killing it in the 90s with TV, but I want to know what was your first film?
I'll Google that. Keep going.
Because they did Good Burger. Like, that was another big Nickelodeon film. People don't forget. By the way, guys, Good Burger 2 coming out on Paramount Plus end of November. Sorry, I heard that like 8,000 times at Comic-Con, so I just have to repeat it. And I don't know, like, they had like Rugrats. Like, the Rugrats movie was Nickelodeon
I was just going to say, wow, if you look it up, they got a lot. Rugrats, Jimmy Neutron, SpongeBob,
but it's like
Good
spin-offs
Burger.
of their like shows. Like, this wasn't a spin-off of a show. This was like its own movie.
Well, Nacho Libre.
Oh! Well, I stand corrected. Okay. Wow, I didn't know that was Nickelodeon. That's pretty funny. That's not
insane.
a bad movie.
This list is insane. Keep going. Wow.
All right. So you think Nickelodeon, and as Bridget mentioned, you think LOL, silly children, hijinks, shenanigans ensues. No, guys, you're wrong. Okay, because we're gonna have jazz music and tears and bullying. So get ready.
This was their first movie.
Oh my god!
And it's of the 1964 novel. Wow.
I mean,
and then was Good Burger after that.
This was a good pick for their first movie, I gotta say.
It's slightly surprising, I think, for Nickelodeon, because it's a little edgy. And I read some parents were like, is this character a good influence
like
for
a
my
role
child?
model? Yeah.
Because, all right, I just know that when we meet the iconic looking Harriet the Spy, we got long hair, we got low pony, we got big baggy pants. I mean, we kind of have like a queer vibe going on as far as the look.
It is. It could be a good like club outfit or Halloween costume.
Okay. Yeah.
You decide what you think it needs to be. And when we meet her, she is hiding at a market, and just like you said, she's just kind of stalking.
She's just
taking notes. She's like a boy with ringlets, and then she sees a leash girl, and she makes a comment about leash kids. And I was like, some kids need leashes.
Well, and then it's very much, you're like, oh, Harriet the Spy. You're like, oh, she's like spying for a reason. And then you learn, oh no, she's just like,
it's like, nope.
Stalking. She's just stalking people.
Just cause. It's just cause we do it.
Just for the stories, for the content. She does double down on I am a spy and takes out her little binoculars.
Very much.
We quickly are like, okay, we get it. And we learn about her besties because they're doing foot tattoos, Kate. Have you done that?
No. I will never. Quote me on this. Absolutely not. Feet are so gross.
I cannot.
Touching feet? That is so foul. You don't know where those feet have been.
So
they're all gonna get warts or something. I can't.
Right away, I'm like, all right, they're quirky, they're fun. And then this is where I thought you would rip the acting apart.
Oh boy.
Because Marion Hawthorne walks in and they all pretend to vomit because they hate this person so much. And I was like, damn, this is like harsh.
I actually wrote a note and said these kids should start an improv group because they're just.
I was like, wait, what's happening? Is there a bad smell in the air? Like, I didn't know what was happening. I was like, oh, is this just for like a classmate you don't like? Damn.
And also, this was like the first day of class or something weird. I don't even know, because she's kind of given introduction to other kids, and this is where you kind of hear her like, you know, smack talk some of the other kids, but not in like a like, fuck these kids, I hate them. It's just like a, I don't know, like no filter type way, if that makes sense. So she says the one girl spent her summer vacation growing boobs. Bridge. That was the moment I texted you and said, oh no, I keep thinking of Pen 15 now. Oh my God, there were so many references.
I mean, that's a real thing though, I feel like at that age.
Yeah, and like, that's the only girl in the grade wearing a bra, and I was like, oh no, not that.
Here's the thing. I was kind of laughing at some of her like quirky trolls. She was trolling her classmates. Yeah. But then she goes, troll. The one guy, she's like, this guy never speaks and he wears purple socks. He should hang himself. I was like, okay. Damn, Harriet.
Yes.
That's not cool.
Lots of comments about like harming others.
Like, poisoning. Let's poison
and
Mary.
Murder. Yeah, like Janie.
Jesus.
Later in the movie, Harriet's like, I'm a little scared of Janie. And I was like, no, that's like valid, because she every 2 seconds is like, should we kill someone? Because I could do it. And you're like, girl.
Well, and then when Nickelodeon's like, wait. We know we're trying to follow the book, but let's do a spy montage. Or jump on the bed, do silly camera angles, and wear a belt.
Lots of jazz music happening. Just random. And then they're like, we realize the jazz is weird, so we're going to put in a random character that scats. And that's his shtick. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? But it works. And I don't even know. Thank God we meet Rosie. Let's just get to Rosie.
I was just going to say, Rosie shows up, and Rosie is just a wholesome little lovely. I mean, she's like a Miss Honey to a little Matilda.
Her fucking beret.
Oh,
get out.
God, get out of here.
The red coat, the beret. I want her down the red carpet. Come on.
She's like a cooler Mary Poppins, you know?
Yo, if she flew in with an umbrella, like, I wouldn't have even batted an eye. I would have been like, yeah, that's normal. It's all normal.
As an adult, I was trying to write down some of her quotes because I feel like her living life quotes were pretty impressive.
Well, and you know, that does make more sense that this was based off of at least one book, possibly more, because all of her dialogue was very, like, inspirational speechy. And I was like, what? You could just say, hi, Rosie. Okay.
Yeah, and even when she's like, okay, let's go to bed, she, like, quotes a poem. And I'm like, what? Do people speak like that? But it worked. I mean, because, like, she's got the thing, man. I mean, I feel like a lot of people kind of hate on her, but she's got the thing. And
love her.
Is a pretty good actor. And they have a cute, adorable bond, but in a way that makes me sad, because I feel like Harriet's parents are neglectful.
Yes, for sure. And Rosie takes Harriet and her 2 friends to a local hoarder, but we're going to call it an artist, but it kind of felt like a hoarder. Also, Bridge, if you had a yard, would your yard look like this?
I was just going to say, as I watched this movie, I thought, why aren't I living my life this way?
My yard, yeah.
That's me. And I thought,
why don't I have a bird bath filled with soap? Jeez.
I just, every night, or not every night, but every other night, we play the lottery, and I'm just waiting for that hit, because I would do this. I would just take trash, I would make it into art, and then I would tell unique children that if you want to make weird art too, it's free and have fun.
If
and
you
just don't hurt yourself.
Bow ties from a tree.
Whatever you want. We won't talk about when it rains and gets moldy. We will figure that out later. Everything that it was hammering home in the beginning was like, they're different, they're unique. Look, there's a cool trash garden. Rosie's awesome. You're like, all right, Nickelodeon.
And we're all like, she is. Yeah. And this is where Rosie is like, everybody, don't reenact the soda part, but everybody sip from the soda and make a Jesus Christ, make a wish. What do you want most in the world? And like, I don't even, what were the two friends?
Name Sport was like, I want to play baseball forever. And then,
oh my God, I never even connected. Is that why he's called Sport? I thought it was his legal name.
Oh, maybe.
Jesus Christ.
Well,
all right.
What Janie was like, I want to recreate my DNA.
Science.
Like, damn, Janie.
She's scary.
And then Harriet just wants to write everything down. And here's the thing, Kate.
That's a weird goal.
I was just going to say, what happened to just wanting to be a good writer? Did she lose the plot,
I think she did.
That's ironic.
I got lost. We also didn't hear Rosie O'Donnell's wish.
Is she like, I don't want to be a nanny?
She's like, I want a bone with someone that can't when I'm nannying. Damn it.
Okay, here's the thing with the nanny situation. Was she like an au pair, like living there?
I think she was, because she had a lot of luggage. And Harriet brought her out a lamp when she was leaving. And I was like, I don't think she's gifting her the lamp. I think it's Rosie's lamp.
I do love, though, at that age, I like dream of this relationship with Kate, because the fact that someone is like 11, 12, and if they have a connection like that with an adult, it is very rare, because they're getting to like prepubescent angsty, and it's like, you could tell that they've had like a really good long relationship. It's very inspiring. And so that was fun to see. It was like we captured a little bit of her innocence, because the rest of the movie is her just like ripping people apart, saying crazy shit, being on rooftops, and you're like, this kid is 11. Can we take a step back? Because if I had an 11-year-old going on the roof, I'd be losing my mind.
She needs to be on a leash, okay? That's why she's so against the leash kids.
Back to the leash.
Back to the leashes. They'll be back.
But it's like, all right, now what's the plan? Where's this movie going? And we start to get to the conflict, right, Kate?
It's going to the evil librarian from one of the Goosebumps episodes being Rosie O'Donnell's date. And I just think she could have done better. He's a nice man. But Rosie has a lot of other fish in the sea.
I wrote the exact same thing.
I just think you got more to you, girl. I'm just saying.
And I thought, what the fuck? Why is she bringing a date to her nanny and gig?
Because she lives there. She doesn't have a day off, Bridge. Like, Rosie is being worked to the bone.
Okay. All right, so I'll take that back. But I did write that he was ugly, and I didn't understand, because, like, Rosie's, like, much better looking. It felt weird. How
old do you think Rosie's supposed to be in this movie?
I don't know, like 30s?
Because he was like pushing 50. And again, weird. I was like, wait.
Well, and his arc is like, hey, I used to be a bajillionaire, and then it was just hard, so now I just like deliver food, and I'm so happy. I'm like, well, do you still have the bajillionaire money? Because like Rosie's a nanny and doesn't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's gonna nanny out of her job. So
no, Bridge, because he probably has an undercover crippling gambling past that we're not going to learn about because it's Nickelodeon Studios.
I bet it's in that journal. I bet she wrote it down.
Read his private journal and you'll learn. But this is where it goes downhill, because first of all, Rosie's cooking this man dinner. It makes me nauseous to think about. First date and you're cooking a man dinner. Disgusting. Don't ever do it.
You brought this up.
Fucking hate that.
Top Gun too.
I'm so mad.
You brought that up with Top Gun.
I'm so angry about it. I hate it. Anyway, thank God the dinner gets burned. And then the guy's like, let's just go out to eat. I was like, that's fucking right, because you know he's gonna pay. Or maybe he won't because he doesn't have money. I don't know what's gonna end up happening.
Or he delivers the food from his place.
Or you're just gonna deliver food. And so they go to a movie and dinner, and they get home late, and the parents came home early, and it's drama. I mean, the mom was like a lot. I don't know. I'm not a mom, but she was like, where the fuck is my kid? And I'm like, what time is it? Like 8:30? Relax.
I didn't believe it. Because I'll tell you this. That is someone who is basically your family member.
Yeah.
And you trust them with your life. And one day they do something different. You could say, hey, that bothered me. Let's talk about it. You don't just like fire her on the spot. It was so dramatic. It was so Nickelodeon.
It was Nickelodeon.
It was very like Teen Mom. You know, it's just like, why are we doing this? Over the top.
Well, and the mom's like, you're fucking fired. And Rosie's like, excellent. And then the mom's like, wait. And I was like, Rosie.
That's where my notes started to veer off, because I was like, oh my God, now they're begging her to stay, because I'll tell you this, childcare is hard to come by, and a good one is hard. So
it reminded me of like power moves during breakups, where it's like, listen, guys, if someone's trying to break up with you, don't let them. And then 2 seconds later, you break up with them. And that's what Rosie did.
No, honey, I
And
love you.
it's-
Actually, I hate you.
Fuck you. This was all my idea. And I'm going to make sure everybody knows it. That's what Rosie did. And, her rationale was good because she was kind of saying, like, Harriet's at an age where she's really, she's jumping on rooftops, all right? She really doesn't need a nanny at this point. Girl knows what's going on.
Oh my God.
And she was like, and Harriet's really codependent on me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not great for her emotions.
Yeah.
Also, I'm trying to get laid somewhere.
Yeah.
So I gotta go.
I
Bye-bye.
need to get my own bratwurst.
Wow, bratwurst reference. They do talk about that a lot. That's funny.
She cooked a bratwurst and burnt it, folks, in case you're wondering
It's
where that
symbolism
came from.
for
I
her
had to
sex
explain
life.
the joke. So
Yeah.
it goes very bad, and when she runs after Rosie as she's leaving, this is where you cried.
That's where
sad.
I cried.
It was very sad.
And Michelle Trachtenberg, like, I don't know, maybe they faked what her tears looked like, but she looked like she was really crying. And, like, it was sad.
Can you imagine being like, wait, I'm going to work with Rosie O'Donnell? And they're like, scene 5, Rosie's cut. I'd be like, no!
See you, girl. Harriet goes, are you going to go be some other kid's nanny now? And then Rosie's like, no. And
She's
then
like, I'm
it's
done
still
with
sad.
this.
And, now she's gone. And Harriet becomes suppressed.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would say. It's, she's sad in her room.
She doesn't want to spy anymore. This is what got her in trouble with the Notebook. Because she decided to play with the kids. She was like, I won't spy anymore.
She's like,
wow.
whatever. Who needs a notebook? I'm just going to be a sad little lady. And then also, like, a lot of the people that she was spying on, like, horrible things happen to them. So it's just like a whirlwind of depression when Rosie leaves the area. I don't know what phenomenon that is, but, like, someone should research it. I do want to point out, I know we're not going to get into each little story, but the one fucking, about the guy with the cats, she's like, something seems different. Where are all his cats? And it cuts to some man
like
holding
101 Dalmatians.
a giant bag with cats in it. What?
Out of control.
I almost called the police. I can't. I cannot. Nickelodeon movies, you went too far with that.
It literally reminded me of 101 Dalmatians, like a evil guy tiptoeing out of a scene with a big bag on their back.
Literally.
But it was full of cats.
bad.
And here's the thing. Let's get to the drama part. This scene has been recreated in lots of movies over lots of time. But there's something great about Marion Hawthorne. I gotta say, she's a great villain. She read every piece of juicy gossip about every kid to their face, and every kid hated Harriet, and that was rough.
She was also on Goosebumps.
I'll
I'm
tell
just
you
saying.
this. I'll tell you this. Wouldn't you have ran and ripped the Notebook, or is that just me? Because I would have ripped the Notebook and ran away.
I think she had already read some stuff at that point. And just a quick setup, just in case we're confused. The children are children, and they play in the park, and that's how Harriet loses the Notebook, and Marianne finds it. And it's bad. I didn't write down some of the things that were said, but
like one, she was like, there's nothing worse than being Marion Hawthorne than wanting
to
to be her. And everyone's like, ooh, Victoria! I was like, damn.
And that's where it was very, like, I don't know, not that that's happened in Mean Girls, but it was, like, very burn booky, where I was like, oh, put it in the burn book, bitch.
It was absolutely burn book. And let's face it, you probably see this more than I have, but when I was in middle school, there were lists, there were notes, there were people that was like, oh, they said this and that, and you always knew when someone was, like, on the outs and everyone hated them. And we experienced that through Harriet with this whole thing.
So freaking sad.
Her two besties just ditch her immediately. And listen, she said mean stuff about him, but, like, I think it's because it was so public that they all were like, oh, you're just gonna be friends with someone that says mean stuff to you? Like, versus if they would have read it alone and be like, I know you didn't mean it, blah, 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 but it's like the whole school saw it, so they all had to, like, uphold hating Harriet.
It's interesting, too, because the two things she wrote about about her friends, like the one she writes about Janie, is like, it's not so much an insult as a genuine feeling of her being like, Janie's a little scary. She makes death threats often and mad science experiments. And I was like, okay, yes, you shouldn't say it out loud, but like, it's a little valid. And then the one she says about Sport is really sad because
Sport is mean.
Well, his whole story is like, he lives with his dad. His dad is a single man and they're poor, and the dad is a writer and doesn't have a job, and Sport is an 11-year-old adult who has to cook and clean and buy shit. Why can't the dad do that?
I don't
by
know.
The way? So
he literally is like, I have to go home at spaghetti night. What's the dad doing?
So
Why isn't the dad cooking spaghetti?
I don't know. Dad's not physically. I don't know.
What's
I don't
happening?
fucking know. But she's like, Sport's poor, and why can't his dad get a job? And I was like, again, Harriet, it is valid.
But this is why I think she
But
was
we're
like
11,
somewhat on the spectrum, because I feel like she like missed, like, I wonder today if 11-year-olds, let's say they were really raw and wrote that, would they also say like, yeah, I know it's sad and it's like not fair, and like they would keep going with the thought, or would it really be that like harsh? You know?
I mean, I don't know. I can't even think of any kids that would like focus on that shit or maybe even take notice in the first place.
True.
Like if this movie was remade and it was like Harriet the Spy, it would all be like from a social media angle. And I feel like it would be so different and not good.
Agreed.
It's not the same as like a journal, like a personal.
Well, and the fact that the whole school, when she walks in, is like, we hate you. We'll write notes about you, and it's bad. And then they're like, not only do we hate you, we're planning something. And then they basically like, I don't know, they like create a club that says we hate, or a spy hunting club.
This is aggressive.
Hey, what?
These children
they built a house.
These children are using power tools. All right, they got wood. There's nails. Where are the adults? Are there any adults? Hello.
No idea. Harriet's like, oh man, I'm screwed. And then their plan is just to like yell at her on rollerblades and bang pots.
Yep.
So that frustrated her. And then the other plan was to pour paint on her, which then became like a weird, like that was her like Carrie moment. She like lost it and then was like, ah!
All right, I want to talk about the paint.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
That's fucked up, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
Second of all,
yeah.
What do you think was the lesson they were learning in that? Because they were painting their classmate, like as if it was like a life drawing class, but we're 11, and nobody used pencils. Bridget, you're the artist. I just like, I don't know.
I will
Any
say,
insight?
I think the insight was art time, and try to draw the thing in front of you.
Just, you know, fucking kill time till we pour paint.
I'll tell you, when I went to college and I got our first model and I was like, oh shoot, this is like a real thing. We got like strangers rolling up. And then they got butt ass naked. And I was like, oh, I'm like a 18-year-old idiot. I need to like not laugh and be stupid and all that. And I'll tell you, every time the model showed up, I'd be like, these are always all ugly old dudes. Just like,
who just wanted to whip out their bratwurst.
And just sit there and you're just like, this feels like all of my paintings and sketches are like these old weird looking dudes.
So many
like,
wrinkles. Oh god.
But back to Harriet. So that's when she loses it. She's like, I'm full of paint. And I guess this was the moment that the movie's like, we're gonna be cinematic. Because that bathtub scene, they shot it from
dramatic.
underneath. Like it was the Nirvana baby.
Yeah. What a reference.
90s, baby.
None of the adults in her life are like, maybe we should like be worried.
Nope.
Like this child ran out of school.
Yep.
If that happened, I would be chasing them. I'd be chasing the little blue child down the street.
You chasing blue footprints.
I'd be in a walkie, like
running.
Call 911. She's on the lam. Get her. She's turned right down the road. Quick, she's in the woods. That'd be me.
Oh,
nobody
God.
cared that she left the The teacher did not give a fuck.
Nobody cared. And then
her
the parents made
didn't
it
care.
worse. They made it worse because her notebook was all she had left. And once she was like, I'm gonna like get everyone back. This was very, again, Carrie. And boy, did she like rip each, like one by, first of all, she writes on her desk like a serial killer.
Okay.
Their names. She engraves their names.
The teacher has absolutely no idea that she's like vandalizing desks. I was like,
crazy.
this lady needs to get some coffee. Of all the things that she does to get back at these kids, because we see each kid get some payback, I think the worst one is the girl gets her hair cut. Because, holy shit, that's assault, brother!
It was a long braided pony, and she just went right for the jugular.
She literally snipped
That's a
it.
bob. That's a bob cut. We don't even know if she has the face for it.
I don't think she does. You know, when I was in middle school, there was a girl who threatened to cut my hair.
Oh,
She
do I
did.
know her? Do I know
She
her?
definitely had mental health problems. It had nothing to do with me.
Wait.
I was like, oh, I know that you like, Jim Bob. And she was like, if you fucking tell anyone, I'll cut your hair. And I was like, I'm not going to tell anyone. And she was like, that's right. And I was like, okay.
Did she sit behind you, Kate? I'm scared.
I don't know when that happened, but I did not get my hair cut, thank God. And if I did, I would have
Horrifying.
cried like this kid. And then the second worst one, I think, is Marian's, where
Yeah, I was going to say.
she gets told her dad doesn't love her. And
Yeah.
Woof.
I thought you were going to say that one, if I'm being honest.
well,
The hair
that one
cutting.
is emotionally bad, but it's not like
Yeah, true.
assaults.
True.
So
So when basically all the parents call and yell, Harriet's parents are like, you know what we'll do? We'll punish you by taking away your notebook because this can't be good. This is probably the reason, the notebook. They don't actually ask about the situation. They don't
Yep.
at all. I mean, honestly, they're kind of the worst.
they are. And it's like, I don't even know. It's weird that they do that because then she just keeps hiding notebooks. And then there's like weird notebook checks by the teacher, which is more public humiliation, which I'm like,
I hated it.
what the fuck? And finally, they like confront her after all these kids are upset. And they're like, what the hell's wrong with you? And she throws shit at them. And then what's always the next step when kids throw shit? Child
Therapist.
psychologist.
Who, by
That's
the way,
where I would come in school.
Wait, Kate.
So
can we
you're
talk
here
about...
because you threw a book at your parents.
Here's the thing. I need you when the school is like, all right, Katie, we're renovating different offices. We
Oh,
have to
God.
look to your budget. I want you to play this scene, okay? And I want you to be like, do you see how big this person's office is?
Do you see that egg chair?
Do you see all the games in
Yeah.
like an 11-foot door closet? I need beanbag chairs. I need giants, things of everything. I hope you asked for that. You deserve that. Because the guy was cool. And he just handed her a notebook. And I thought, this is funny.
He was cool. And he was like, yeah, we're def gonna play Rock'em Sock'em Robots because this girl got rage in her. Jesus Christ.
And she's like, you suck at it. And he's like, uh-huh.
Yeah, he's like, yep, it's true.
It's like, don't
And
hit
then
me.
pretty immediately, thank God, because it's been too damn long at this point, we get Rosie O'Donnell back.
Woo!
She's
Hallelujah.
in the same outfit that we left her,
I
so
swear
I
to
don't know what
God,
that
is
means.
she on the streets? What is she? How is she living?
Literally, when she was leaving, Harriet's like, where are you gonna go? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like,
God,
should
think
you have
should
that
she-
figured out?
Did she stay
Okay.
with the trash artist lady? Let's be honest.
Oh, I hope not.
I mean, I kind of hope so. It's just any fun.
Oh my God.
But here's the thing. She came back with wisdom. She came back with listening. She
She
was the
does.
parent. And she needed that.
She was like, Harriet, listen, it's cool to talk shit, but you gotta talk shit in your brain, not on paper.
Ugh.
Or out loud. And, sometimes you gotta lie about
gotta
talking
lie.
shit. And
You gotta lie.
if it's gonna make someone feel good, then it's okay. Also, you have to apologize. And I was like, those are correct.
It was perfect.
Yes.
It was perfectly the length of the conversation, the actual meat of it. Loved it. I was like, again, I'm jotting this down, Rosie. I have a trip visiting my family soon.
Oh,
I need to
God.
get this together.
Gotta get those white lies ready to go.
No, I love the idea of going to a steak restaurant at 6 p.m. That
Oh,
sounds
no.
great.
Jesus Christ.
But, yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing. So we see two separate scenes where Harriet's like, all right, atonement time. Here I fucking go.
She tries.
She
know?
tries with Janie and Sport. And they both kind of are like, fuck you, get out of here. And then she behind a door both times. So drama is like, I'm sorry. And then I guess they hear and I guess that counts and fine. Not how I would give an apology. I teach the children a very specific apology script.
Okay, let's hear it.
I'm sorry for blah, 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 blah.
Saying that you're poor.
Next time, I will
Not say you're poor.
Usually, that's what the next time is. And yeah, because you got to make a promise that you're going to change. It's not just sorry. It's sorry, and here's what I'll do different.
Oh.
So she didn't really do that.
Can you incorporate that into our family, or should we? No? Okay.
I can print out scripts and leave them around the house and see if anyone picks up on it.
Frame them with like weird calligraphy,
just
and then like
replace one of the family photos with that. Yeah.
That is, I liked that she was like, okay, I gotta redeem myself. I gotta kind of cower. I was wrong. And then the kid with the purple socks comes out of nowhere to save her.
Bridge, he's a
Set the
fucking
scene.
upstander. He's an upstander.
I want to let you know that on the Harriet the Spy cast, he is literally called Boy with Purple Socks.
Oh my god, that's terrible. I'm pretty sure he was also on Goosebumps. I'm like 90% certain.
Okay, what's happening here?
Okay, so we're in school, and Harriet's like, all right, my shot at redemption. Not apologies, but redemption. Is she raises her hand, and she says, hey, teacher lady, I don't really get why the class president gets to be editor of the newspaper, because those are actually different jobs. And
good point.
One doesn't make you qualified for the other. And I was like, that's true.
And also, it's too much for one person.
Oh, sure. Let's go with that angle.
She did say that.
All right. I like it. I like the thinking. And the teacher's like, well, let's fucking vote. I don't know. Anyone else want to do this? And that's where Purple Sock Kid is like, I think that Harriet is a great writer, even though the only thing I read was when she shit talked me. And all my friends. Anyway, she's great. I vote her. And then, just like it happens when we're upstanders children, I hope none of you are actually children, but everyone listening, you're a child right now. When you're an upstander, people will follow. And it stops the bullying. That is the number one proven method to stop bullying, is being an upstander. So vote for the little bullied child to be the newspaper editor. That's the moral of the story.
I think only adults listen to this podcast.
Okay.
But they can share it with youngsters, Kate.
Yeah, that's true. Play that for your school. Yeah, and then I don't know. Now everyone likes Harriet again.
Well, it was cute. Like
it was.
Because then,
cute.
like Janie voted for her, and Sport voted for her, and she was like, "Oh, they don't all hate me," and everyone's like, "Yeah." And then she writes an epic newspaper. I mean, it seemed fun. I want to read it.
She does, and she like kind of semi apologizes in it, where she's like, like we should all be nice, and like just because your dad doesn't live with you doesn't mean he doesn't love you. And I was like, okay.
I didn't hate it.
I didn't hate it, but you know.
There was a lot happening.
Okay.
But we did it. We finished it.
No, Bridge, we're not done.
Oh, sorry.
We're not fucking done. We're not done because there is a school play.
Oh.
And I do need to talk about this. I don't even know. It's a Thanksgiving play, question mark? I'm not even sure.
What was the one? Didn't you help run one of the kids' plays? Weren't you like the assistant?
Yeah, I was the
Would
assistant.
you pitch this? Could you pitch this?
The assistant director for the talent show. We did not have kids dancing in vegetable costumes.
Oh my God.
I fucking wish. But I really liked these veggie costumes.
Oh my God.
The Onion? Bridge, you used to work for a craft magazine where they would sell costumes.
Yeah.
Why didn't they have an onion costume? Like that. That's a missed opportunity.
I don't know about the mass appeal for selling your own onion costumes, but you're right, Kate.
I buy it.
Okay.
Couple's costume, an onion, and Shrek.
An ogre. Yes. Same page.
It was just, I don't even know. It was such a Nickelodeon ending where it's like, anyway, silly costumes. And they're gonna dance to Get Up Off of That Thing. And dance you feel better.
One girl is a gravy boat. There's, turkeys, there's green beans. I don't know what's happening. But you know what? We end it. And I was like, okay, I goddamn made it.
We end it and everyone's friends. And there's no more psychologists.
Wow.
Or whatever. Yep.
Oh my goodness. We did it.
Bridge, I think the real question is not only would you watch or don't watch, but are you going to have Kate watch this to learn about
Probably not.
how to be a spy? Okay.
That's going to be a no, and I don't even know if I would watch this. I'm sorry. It didn't hit me. You?
It hit me. It hits me. I got a little nostalgic spot for it. But it's because kids are sad, and I'm like, that's my life sometimes, so.
Okay.
And it's nice seeing them not be sad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I am happy that you didn't rip on all the child actors, and I'm happy you had that experience.
Thanks. Me too.
Well, it's my turn.
Woo!
And I'm gonna do what you do, which is ignore the listener list. I'm so sorry.
Yeah! Oh, I mean...
But
yeah!
I'm gonna give us our oldest movie ever.
Oh my.
From 1965.
Oh.
Do you even know what is happening?
No.
You don't. You're not even gonna know.
I don't know.
I just want to let you know that how do I read this without giving it away? Well, it's an American, because God forbid we always gotta say that.
Okay.
Musical.
Okay.
Drama film.
Drama. Musical drama from the 60s. We already did Hairspray Bridge.
Hold on.
Okay.
It's 1930s Austria, where a young woman named Maria is failing miserably in her attempts to become a nun. This is the iconic,
Sound of
probably
Music?
not gonna age well, Sound of Music.
Oh my God, our
Mom is Julie Andrews.
This is like peak mom Julie Andrews, because they have the exact same haircut.
Same haircut, same color.
The whole
Go
movie.
to the same color, same everything.
There's Nazis in this.
I mean, it's horrible, but it's a nostalgic film, and I want to see what the deal is, you know?
Wow.
This is a very old, it's probably going to age poorly, but it was a thing. Did you know that Mom would make us sing in the car? This is what she would make us do. She'd go, "Do, a deer."
Oh, I was like, I
female
remember singing that.
deer.
I thought
And
you were going to say...
Wait, no, let me keep going, because she would start that, and normally you would just sing with the person singing, but she'd be like 5, 6, and you'd have to be behind her.
Oh, God.
So she'd be on Ray, and then you'd be like, "Do, a deer," and she would keep going. She'd be like, "Keep going." She'd be like, "In the back, Mary!" And then Mary would hit the next one. So we'd all be singing different parts, and she's like, "Keep it together, and beat, and go." I was like,
What's
the
the one song they sing where it's like all the children like doing a performance like one by one?
Oh, we're gonna hear it.
Oh my God, what is the song though? What is it?
I'm blanking.
I am too. Oh my God. I thought that's what you were gonna say, and I was like, I don't remember
goodbye. That one. And now like rappers like included in there. So we're just gonna get there. Okay. We're gonna get there. We're gonna listen to it. We're gonna see what's going on. It's not gonna age well, and we'll get mad at certain things. But I think it's important to watch. And does the music hold up? Does everything hold up? I don't know. Is it terrible? Let's do it.
I'm ready. You know where I thought you were going, because we're getting closer to Thanksgiving. Thought you were gonna say Wizard of Oz, but I'm pretty sure that was from the like earlier than 60s. So
yes, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Wow.
All right. Well, Bridge.
Yes.
I just want to say,
Uh-huh.
if you ever decide to put Kate on a leash, I will not write about it in my private notebook. I will support it. I will get Kate to think she's cool and special, and it's awesome to be on a leash for you, because I love you.
Oh my God, Kate. And I was thinking for you, I'm going to create a notebook company where in the middle of the notebook, I'm going to have your apology framework.
Oh, yes.
So if
like, okay, so you're done shit-talking your friends now.
Chapter 2
Here we are.
is how to apologize using Katie's framework. And then chapter 3 is, did it work out? And did you keep your promise?
Chapter 4 is, are you going to be an upstander and get your friend to be the newspaper editor?
Wow.
Keep us
we're
posted.
coming up with it. As you would say, trademark.
Trademark.
But that's for you, Kate.
Wow. Thanks, Bridge. And listeners, if you also would buy that notebook, because I bet some of you fucking would. Who doesn't love a good guided notebook? Am I right?
Yes.
And if you think that kids, they just really shouldn't be like breaking and entering and climbing on roofs and... it's a lot of felonies, so don't let your kids do that. And if you think that Rosie O'Donnell is the fucking best, and by the way, Bridge, the main poster of this movie has Rosie O'Donnell's face in the tiny magnifying glass, and I'm in love with it so much that I'm gonna send you a close-up shot of it. Or a shot of it getting closer and closer and closer to her face, because I love doing that.
My favorite. It's funny to do that.
So amazing. Anyway, I forgot where I started with that, listeners, but it was something about Rosie. And if you love all that, you should write us a review.
Woo!
We love reviews. We love written reviews. You can review us on Apple Podcasts, along with some other podcasting apps. And we also have a website, sisterswhoseenit.com. On our website, you can request a movie. So there is a form you can fill out. Fill it out. Your request goes on a list. And we will do your movie eventually. We pick randomly. It's random.
Yeah, it's random.
It's random. It's when we feel. And Bridge, what else can they do on our website?
They can buy us coffee, which is money.
Woo!
We will give some of that money to Sports Family.
We
Then
will.
you can buy merchandise, which is fun and it's silly. And actually, we do sell a notebook. Don't listen to him, honey. Use a
There
Libra.
is a notebook. I have that notebook. I don't write private secrets in it, though, but maybe I should start.
I think you should.
All right, that's going to be my private notebook.
So they should check that out. Check it out.
Yes, so check all that out, listeners. And we hope to hear from you. All right, well, we'll see you all next week for The Sound of Music.
Tell me about a problem like Maria.
Oh, Maria.
How do you catch a cloud and bring it down?
I
Literally,
definitely
our mother.
know all the songs better than the story plot.
That's why I think it's going to be intriguing. We'll see you
yeah.
there. Bye-bye.
Woo.
I love you.
I love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Keep spying. Bye-bye. Thanks for tuning in to Sisters Who Seen It. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Check out our website at sisterswhoseenit.com, where you can email us, request movies to be reviewed, and keep up to date with all things sisters. Also, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. See you next week.